press that button.
You wanna like start?
Alright. Hey guys, this is Dan Pagella with Ownplot Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Enemy Clothing Company. I'm here with the man-child, Brett Cottrell.
The man-child?
And today we're going to go over a couple back takes from the side mount position. So I'm going to start in side mount with Brett. We're going to go over a couple solid transitions and end in a sub. Starting off, if I'm in this position with Brett, the easiest way to take his back by far, it kind of involves his will, and that's if he decides to turn away. This might be because my shoulder pressure is really heavy. Maybe he's had no success turning in. He really needs to get back in his points. He wants to get up to his feet. So he decides to turn away. As he does so, he cuts through, he cuts through, he cuts through. Notice my hand transitions to his low shoulder, and I'm cupping his high hip. I'll either get his hip or I'll get his bicep. Either one is a solid brace for me, a solid notch. And now as Brett turns, my low foot, my right foot in this case, is snug to his low hip. So my positioning behind him is like so. I'm here. Yeah. So my foot is snug up behind his back. So if you make this turn away, as he turns, I'm either cupping the hip as he goes, go, 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 go. Yeah, my foot slips through. I make my transition into back mount. Low arm comes in for the choke. I sink my high hook, stretch, finish the choke. Second example. We'll do this if I'm on the other side.
Finish the choke.
The other one is if Brett is turned in. So as Brett turns in now, yeah, I'll transition my left arm over his head. My right arm will come to his hip, and now I'll spin behind. Yeah, bang. And now you'll notice again, my right foot will come right to the hip. And now if Brett decides to turn away again, boom, I'll step through. Most of the time though, when I get to this position on Brett, he won't decide to turn away. He'll kind of brace himself here. Another easy way to get to this position, the same kind of shelved up position, is if Brett is lying on his back and maybe he wants to be stubborn. Maybe he's just like, oh, I'm not going to turn in or away. He just gets all clammy. I'm going to get deep shoulder pressure. I rotate his chin away, and now I drive my shoulder into it. I brace my hand on his hip. I walk head side till I can scoop underneath his arm. Now I rock him up. And again, I grab to the low shoulder here, into the armpit almost. So now all of those transitions kind of got me into this position that we landed to. This is the waypoint. This is the twilight between side mount and back mount. So whether Brett turns away, bang, we end up in that same spot. If he turns into me and I spin, bang, maybe tip from the other side, we come to the same spot with my foot flush behind. Or if I rock him, we come to that same spot. Now in this case, my head side foot tight to the hip again. So all of those transitions, I kind of go through this twilight before I actually get to Brett's back. And the way I'll take his back from there is like so. I have a couple choices. When I get to this position on Brett, if he ever decides to turn away, whether that's bracing on his elbow or whether that's, let's say this elbow stays in and you just kind of turn with your hips. Yeah, either way, I'll have space to sink my bottom hook here. I'll be able to pull Brett into me, punch directly across that kind of zip line into back mount, grab him behind the scapula, make for my finish. So that's the first choice. If Brett turns away, it's nice and easy to slide down a little bit. Second choice is if I have Brett on his side here and he's stubborn, he doesn't want to turn away on me, what I can do is I can step my left foot over into his far hip. So I'm in this position on Brett, I have his wrist controlled, I'm underneath here, I'm shelving him, making sure he can't turn into me, my chest is anchored behind his shoulder, I step through. Oftentimes I'll do this kind of by distracting his neck first, so I'll make him think about it, I'll be grabbing a hand snap. Once I get to here, I slide my knee up high, now I rock along my hip. Punching across again with the top arm, into the choke, my second hook sinks in, do jiu-jitsu. The last and final transition from here, which happens to be the most glorious position that's ever happened in mankind and or jiu-jitsu. I'm here with Brett, I rock him up, whatever, maybe he turns away, he turns in, whatever. Either way, I get to this twilight position. In this case, I'm here with Brett, I have him on his side, maybe I distract him a little bit, I step through. Now, instead of rocking Brett over me to make the transition, I'm going to punch my arm through as deep as I can. Almost as though I'm going to go for the choke, but I'm going to grab for almost his top ear. So I want to gain control of his head. Really here, I want to be able to get as much control over like his cranium as possible, so I can rotate, so I can open it up. This is going to lead him to the belly pin. So I step my foot that was at his hip, it slides down to his knee as I make this reach. And now, as I stretch Brett's head up to make him look at that wall over there, I'm also going to kick this foot down to straighten his legs out too. So I'm really going to try to like stretch him out as much as possible. Extend him. Now I turn his head so he's facing the wall behind me. So his head is still turned back, and I want to rotate it to the right. Boom. I follow through on top, sink my second hook. Continue to keep Brett's head lifted, kind of like a Pez dispenser. So my other hand comes out, punches underneath. I step to the rear naked, make for jiu-jitsu. So that's 3 transitions into back mount, 3 variations of back mount, 1 rear naked, grappling.